Alright guys, so welcome to my DS review. I'm actually going to be conducting the review from behind here. No, actually I'm just kidding. I'm going to sit over here so you guys can actually see me. There's my squeaky floor, I'm sure you can hear it. But I just want to start off by saying that the DS is one of my favorite systems ever. Despite a stigma that it might have where, you know, people think that all the games on it are just for kids, it's not. There's a lot of great games out there for anybody, and it's a system that I highly recommend if you're a gamer. No excuse not to have a DS. So let's get started here. Just a warning, guys, I'm not going to be able to give many impressions on many of these games because of the amount that's here, so let's just get started here. Nanostray, excellent shooter. If you're a fan of shooters and you don't mind one that's kind of easy, definitely pick that up. Star Wars Episode 3: Revenge of the Sith. This one, it was pretty enjoyable, really short, some nice animation in there. Etrian Odyssey, one of my favorite RPGs of all time. I plan on doing a review on this one soon, but basically it's a hardcore dungeon crawler. Etrian Odyssey 2 improves upon everything about the first one and just as good. Arkanoid DS, very simplistic, it's just like Breakout, totally worth buying, great game. Space Invaders Extreme, this is a great reworking of the Space Invaders game, very techno-y, very flashy. Touch Detective, I really couldn't get into this one that much, I didn't really care for it. Up here we have an import game that I forgot the name of, but you basically, it comes with a device where the way you move around in the game is by slotting your DS on a surface. Very weird. Orcs and Elves, this is a pretty nice first-person dungeon crawler. It goes back to the roots of like PC games, pretty nice. Mr. Driller Drill Spirits, this one here is a very fun game. This is the first game I played in the Mr. Driller series. I had a lot of fun with it. Asphalt Urban Gt, this is one of the few games that you can pick up for the DS when the DS first came out, and I had a lot of fun with this one. It was a really fun racer. It kind of reminds me of the cruising games on Nintendo 64. Anno 1701. I only played this one once only because I didn't have the patience. It's like a Civilization type game. Didn't have the patience for it. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Rings of Fate. This was pretty fun, I enjoyed it because I never played the Crystal Chronicles game on GameCube, so this was a lot of fun. Final Fantasy Tactics 2 Grimoire of the Rift. I did not enjoy this one as much as I enjoyed the original one on Game Boy Advance. I didn't like some of the things that they did with the job system. Zookeeper, this is an enjoyable puzzler. Pretty addictive. I didn't think I'd get that addicted to it, but it was pretty fun. Sonic Rush, this is a great 2D Sonic platformer. Some people feel that the game kind of plays itself. I kind of feel that way, but it's still a lot of fun. Dragon Quest Rocket Slime, very simplistic RPG, a lot of fun though if you're into the Dragon Quest games. If you like Dragon Quest games, this is like a fan service game, think of it that way. Castlevania Portrait of Rune, I enjoy the other one. This is my second favorite Castlevania DS game actually. Great music as usual, great Castlevania game. Trauma Center Under the Knife, another great game by Atlas, very strange. Of course, this is the first one, so it was very unique at the time, and now it's got a whole series going on. Staffy 4, or Densetsu no Staffy, I believe they call it, but basically this is a platformer series that never made it to the US. A great, colorful game. Can't understand what they're saying, but it's a lot of fun. Resembles Kirby a lot. Herb Sims in the City, never played it. Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. I'm ashamed to say that I never picked this up when it first came out, but when I finally bought it, man, it was pretty addicting. I was playing it a lot when I first got into it. Spider-Man 2, one of the few games you could buy on the DS when it first came out. Totally worth it. This was a great platformer, believe it or not, and I had a lot of fun with it. It's probably one of the better licensed games that I played. Mario Kart DS. This one's self-explanatory. Great racer, great online when it was in the beginning before everybody started all the shit that they... Well, oops, sorry about that. When they started all the cheating kind of that was going on. Yoshi Touch-and-Go. This was one of the first DS games to come out after the initial launch of the games. I had a lot of fun with this. Very short. You can beat it in like an hour or two. But it's a score game, so you're playing this game for score. You're not playing it for anything else. You're just going for high scores. Very fun, though. New Super Mario Brothers. This is another essential game if you own a DS. Pretty self-explanatory why you should have this one. Not as enjoyable as the original NES games, but still a great game. where we're touched. I believe this was the first game on DS that came out after the initial launch games, and it was worth the wait. Very fun game. I enjoyed it a lot. Kirby Canvas Curse. Of course, it's not like an original Kirby game, but it was still unique either way. Basically, you move Kirby around the stage by drawing tracks for him to go on. Pretty fun. Pick it up if you get the chance. Ninja Town, one of my favorite games on the DS and one of the more recent additions to my collection. It's very addictive, a very addicting tower defense game. Legend of the Unemployed Ninja Izuna. This is a roguelike game. It's not as punishing as most other ones are. However, it is, if you're an RPG fan and you've never played a roguelike game, this is the one to start with. Tornado. Still haven't played this one. It's still sealed. The World Ends With You. I didn't get too far into this one because the learning curve on this game is pretty steep, learning the battle system. I was just not the type of person that can easily learn to adapt to the very advanced control scheme. I want to get back into it though. Meteos, a very addictive platformer, but you can easily cheat the system by just going crazy on your touchscreen, which kind of defeated the purpose of it for me a little bit after a while. Rune Factory 2, another recent addition. I picked it up because of the box art. I never played the other Rune Factory games, so this one's a nice, refreshing change of pace from the regular Harvest Moon games. Final Fantasy IV, an excellent remake to an excellent RPG. Nano Stray 2, not as good as the first one, but still very fun. Another essential shooter game if you're into side-scrolling shooters. Mystery Dungeon Shire and the Wanderer. This is another roguelike game. I would recommend going to this one after Izuna, only because if you die in this game, like most roguelikes, you start all the way back at the beginning, you're back to level 1, you lose all your items. Bangai O, I never played the one on Dreamcast, but man oh man, some of the best graphics I've seen on the DS. Like the amount of sprites that are going on this screen is amazing in this game. Chrono Trigger. Obviously, if you own a DS and you like RPGs, this is the quintessential game to own. Let's see, what do we got here still? We still have... Let me just condense the pile. Brain Age, I bought this one on a whim because I wasn't... You know, I wanted to try it out. Everybody was trying it out. I didn't like it. Sorry, I don't feel like doing math on my DS. Yoshi's Island DS, very colorful platformer. Definitely worth it if you own the system. Not as good as the original on Super Nintendo, though. Planet Puzzle League, another great puzzler that's similar to the Tetris Attack, I believe they call it. I forget exactly, but it's a great puzzler. Pokemon Diamond. I still love the Pokemon games, and this was highly addicting. I easily put like 80 hours into this without even hardly touching online. Hotel Dusk 2 Room 251. This is a very unique crime game. I love the graphical approach in here. It's like a drawing of a sketchbook, kind of. Castlevania Order of Ecclesia. My least favorite of the 3 Castlevania DS games, but it is still awesome. From the Abyss, a very mediocre dungeon crawler, sort of reminiscent of Legend of Mana, Secret of Mana, that kind of stuff. Not that good. Kirby Squeak Squad. What can I say? It's another Kirby game. I love Kirby games. I just love Kirby. What can I say? Super Mario DS. If you bought a DS on launch, this is probably the game that everybody bought. I beat it. I kind of got around the control scheme. It wasn't, you know, like using a joystick, but it was manageable. Lock's Quest, another tower defense game. Pretty unique. A pretty recent addition to my collection. Professor Layton and the Curious Village. This game is not for kids, let me tell you. The puzzles in here are brutal, but they're fun nevertheless. Kirby Superstar Ultra. What can I say about this one? A collection of great little platformers and mini-games. Very awesome game. Diddy Kong Racing DS, one of my favorite N64 games, one of my favorite racing games of all time, and the element of online just makes this even better. I love the Versus mode. Legend of Zelda, The Phantom Hourglass. I didn't get into this one as much as I thought I would. It's still a great game, but I never beat it. Dragon Quest IV, Chapters of the Chosen. Great classic RPG. I had never played it before, but it's like as classic RPG as you can get right here. Lost in Blue, the first game in the series. I actually got quite addicted to this one. It's a very unique concept. You're trapped on the island and you gotta survive. Think of it like Harvest Moon without all the farming. Pretty fun. Sonic the Dark Brotherhood, a very awesome, pretty simple RPG, but the combat is a lot of fun. And Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow, one of my favorite DS games ever. I love everything about this game. So there you go, guys. Thanks for watching. There's my DS collection.